Hey there, everyone. It's me, ssasuke125 here. Today I'm going to be doing something a bit different. Anyway, remember back within the 2015, 2020, how people were doing like political compass tests and they used like the one basic website to get whatever position they landed on? Oh, I thought I would do my own version of it by using a different website instead of the normal one. I've done the original at like 2 or 3 times, just at different points, different years, just to see where I landed. And for the most part, I land on pretty left lean. Now, I just want to be upfront about my political views, and you're welcome to agree or disagree, whatever. Whether or not if you agree or disagree, you're still welcome to enjoy whatever video I make or have some nice conversations about it. Anyway, I just thought I would do some. Right, so let's get started. So we have like the regular graph like around here, and then you have like this for like the scale. Anyway, let's get started. You'll be presented with a series of statements button a government that provides for everyone and is inherently a good idea. I'm going to pick neutral. Communism is an idea that can never work in practice. I mean, we've seen how that turned out, especially dictatorship. But then again, some aspects, like say, socialism is elements, not full on social. Like certain stuff, I would say I would mostly idea that can never work in because it's already worked in practice so many times. Maybe some aspects, like free healthcare, like that, already figures if morally correct are a good thing for society. Uh, it depends. Like even then, you can have even if let's just say an authority figure or figures that are correct. They're a lot of things. That doesn't mean they're unfallible. Like anyone could make mistakes and screw up. So I'm just gonna put new. Autonomy of a body extends even minors, mentally ill, and serious criminals. Autonomy of the body? Agreed. The harder you work, the more you progress in the social ladder. Neutral. Like I said, can work very hard, but sometimes can't really go above the social ladder. But then there are cases where you can do it. It really depends on how it's done. Death penalty should exist for certain crimes. I agree on that. Gender is a social construct, not a state of affairs. Oh boy, we're really getting into the spicy one. Well, I mean, I don't really give a shit what person identifies as, just as long as like, hey, they're a good person and they don't bother me or anyone else, so it's not really my place to judge. I mean, of course, there's always going to be biological differences, but I'm not going to be against anyone if they identify, know, differently or neutral or whatever. So I'm just going to do like, whatever. I'm going to be doing that quite a lot, so I'm guessing I'm going to be pretty centrist or a fence sitter at the end of this, but who knows? Who cares? Maybe there'll be some things that change my mind. Two consenting individuals should be able to do whatever they want with each other, even if it makes me uncomfortable. Oh, what do they mean by that? Gay? What do you mean, like sex? I mean, unless if they're doing something messed up, but I would just say, you know what, whatever. Fingering transgender individuals should not be able to adopt children. I mean, anyone can be a good parent. I would say disagree because fucking who gives a shit what's behind between someone's legs or they have like chest fat or not, as long as they raise a kid right. Mandatory IDs should be used to ensure public safety. It really depends on the situation, so I'm just freedom of business is the best practical way for a society to prosper. I guess I can. One cannot be moral without religion. I mean, I know I'm not exactly the most religious person, but then again, I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm an atheist. If anything, I would be probably more classified as agnostic or agnostic Christian. So, yeah, one cannot be moral without religion. I disagree with that. Strength is necessary for any government to succeed. Means certain levels, like as far as self defense, but the whole might makes right thing isn't always the correct answer to every problem, nor is being completely passive either. So I am going to put neutral. Therefore, I'm going to put neutral. It depends on the situation. The government should, at most, provide emergency services and law enforcement. Couldn't agree more. Economic quality is too high. You're not bullshitting. Drugs are harmful and should be banned. Okay, I'm not going to sit here and say I agree with that because hey, if anyone's consenting adult, then do whatever. But in an ideal world, I would much rather have people smoking weed than smoking tobacco. But on principle, I'm going to say disagree. State schools are a bad idea because our state shouldn't be influential. I mean, like I said, it depends on how well the schools are handled and stuff. So I'm just going to put neutral on the fact that I'm not against government spending on schools, but then again, they could be doing a better job. So I mean, then again, not all schools have to be government sanctioned. Jury nullification should be legal. I'm going to put neutral on. Organizations and corporations cannot be trusted and need to be regulated by the government. I mean, I am sort of inclined to agree, but at the same time, not entirely sure. Hmm. Organization not be trusted. I mean, then again, some like organizations can do pretty shady, and corporations can do shady things. Seeing how things have been going, yeah, you know what? I agree. Exploitation is an outdated term as the struggles of 1800s capitalism does not exist anymore. I disagree. People can be exploited. Parents should hold absolute power over their children as they are older and more experienced. Again, I'm just going to say neutral. It depends. Land should not be a commodity to be bought and sold. Animals deserve certain universal agreed. Laws based on cultural values rather than ethic val- ethical ones aren't just. All it's based on cultural value. I mean, then again, certain cultures are best. Much rather have ethical rulings, so I'm gonna say agree. The police were not created to protect people, but to uphold the status quo by force. I'm gonna say neutral because I do believe that there are some good cops, and most cops are good people. But then again, there are bad cops, so we can't deny that. Human, it is human nature to be greedy. I mean, to a certain degree, yes, but to say that defines us completely, I'm not going to be honest. That's not always true. I mean, I like to believe that most humans aren't naturally greedy, but then again, sometimes some level of assertiveness and sometimes, it's okay to be a little bit selfish. So I'm just going to put neutral. If you have nothing to hide, you have nothing to fear. I mean, depends on the court, power of attorney. In times of crisis, safety becomes more important than civil liberty. I mean, I'm just going to put disagree. I mean, there is a way of balancing. So I'm just going to. All industry and the bank should be national. In S, homosexuality is against my values. Strongly disagree. Because the person running this channel is, well, sexual. So how would that make any sense? Multiculturalism is bad. You can have certain elements of certain cultures be imported, but as a whole, to say it's completely good is, yeah. I'm going to be honest. There are some parts, certain cultures that they can keep. I mean, their food, I can take. Their food and shows, I don't mind, and their people, if they're well behaved, they're all fine and dandy. So I'm going to say neutral. A person should be able to worship whomever and whatever they want. I strongly agree with that. Nudism is perfectly natural. Uh, no comment. Government should be less involved in the day-to-day life of its citizens. I agreed with that to a certain more government, the freer people. I mean, yeah. Class is the primary division of society. Class is the primary society. I mean, not entirely wrong. Sometimes it's right that a government may spy on its citizens to combat extreme terrorists. On one hand, I would say no, but on the other hand, okay, I'm going to put neutral. The current welfare system should be expanded to further combat inequality. I mean, maybe less so much on military stuff, but, through that, I'd much rather have that than, constantly being at war and spending taxpayer money. So, agreed. Society requires structure and bureaucracy in order to function. I'm going to say neutral. Like, structure, yes. Bureaucracy, not sure about that. Charity is a better way of helping those in need than social welfare. I would say neutral because, I mean, nothing wrong with having social welfare and, doing charity at the same time. And we have both options on that? Now, what do I know? Okay. Taxation of the wealthy is bad idea. Society would be better off without it. I'm gonna say I'm gonna disagree with that because taxes for lower class tend to get disproportionately taxed less than those guys, as far as per capita. So without democracy, society is nothing. I mean, unless if you lived in societies before democracy was even a thing. Plus, there is a thing called constitutional monarchies that kind of existed. Wages are always fair, as employers know best what the work labor is worth. I mean, it depends on who you have as your boss. So I'm going to say neutral. Only the government can fairly and effectively regulate organizations. I mean, if they get their priorities straight, then yeah. I mean, but also it's up to the public to also hold certain bad actors in certain organizations accountable. So I'm going to say neutral. Victimless crimes should still be punished. An individual's body is their own property, and they should able to do anything they desire with it. Strongly agree. All done. Did you complete this test in a serious or at least ironic manner? Um, I would say, or at least unironic manner. Yeah. Let's see where I'm at the scale of things. Once again, I'm still pretty left leaning. I'll center left more so, but I mean, it was a little bit over here, but I mean, I guess I'm still technically right here. Progressive, I would say, okay, fair enough. So there you have it. This just confirms that I'm pretty left leaning still. And I am going to literally do this. That. Anyway, that's the video, guys, and hope you all enjoy. Take care.